go to work. And then there's some women that lay there like they half retarded, like they don't know what's going to happen. Like, okay, if you go over somebody's house, like, anytime after midnight, or if you go over somebody's house it's real late, you know what I mean? Like, come on. I don't know if it's just me, but I think it is really, really disrespectful if you go over somebody's house during booty call hours. That's maybe, say, from like 11 to maybe 4 or 5 in the morning. In between those hours, I feel like if you come to my place in between those hours and just to talk or just to watch TV, I feel like, okay, like we could have talked on the phone. You could have watched TV at your house, and we could have talked about what was on TV on the phone, because I know my sexual appetite is outrageous. It's really outrageous. You know what I'm saying? So like I was saying, for the most part, when I'm with somebody, you know, I like to wine and dine them first. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like good sex it starts with more than just the actual sex. You know what I'm saying? It starts with way more. It starts with way more. And we actually have a question from Sherry, and the question is, can guys tell the difference when a girl is fucking somebody else? Okay. Now, it depends on the relationship that you have with that person. Because I know, speaking from my experience, I've actually been with somebody, and when I've been with somebody so long, you can feel the gap in between it. Like when you're inside of them, it fits so perfectly to your dick. I'm talking about it fits so perfectly. You felt like you're at home. I'm talking about that's what, after you've been sleeping in the pussy for a while. Now, if you've been sleeping in the pussy, then oh yeah, you're good. So you can really tell if she's been with somebody, and not just by the pussy. That ain't the only way. And if me saying pussy offends anybody, I'm sorry. Excuse me. We can say vagina, cootie snatcher, cookies. So I'm gonna call it cookies. There's more than a woman's cookies that can determine whether or not you feel like she's cheating, because there's other ways to that. There's ways like, okay, now if you're about to have sex with your woman, or you about to have sex with somebody, and you know, most of the time when you've been with somebody, after like 3 or 4 months, you kind of get like a little routine with them. Like I know when I've been with somebody like over 10 or 15 times, it gets to a point to where they automatically switch positions, and I ain't even got to say nothing. So that's when y'all are on the same page. And when I feel like that page is broken, like okay, like if you guys have slept together like over, let's say 3 or 4 times, and then, okay, you guys are about to sleep with each other again, but there's a little hesitation in between, like maybe they don't want to straight jump at you, or maybe, you know, maybe she's acting like she's not in the mood, or maybe she's acting like her head's hurt. It started getting to the point where she's starting to have a lot of excuses to not have sex. Then I would feel like, okay, well, maybe she's cheating then. But you know, but I've always felt like, well, when a woman sleeps with another man, I mean, she can either just be somebody fast who just like to get hers, or it can be a situation to where she's no longer into you, you know. And you can tell when a woman is not into you and she's into another guy, because, I mean, her whole attitude changed. Like, she doesn't try to kiss you as much, or she doesn't try to go down on you as much. I feel like when you're with somebody and you guys are solely sleeping with each other, there's a lot of making out, there's a lot of kissing, oral sex is never a problem, and then when you guys have sex, there's never no hesitation, like, okay, should you wear a condom, have you been tested, and stuff like that. So I feel like there is ways you can tell if she's cheating. Now, like, if you try to sleep with her and she's like, well, you know, I don't even feel like coming over, the way I am, I can't hit the way I think. I mean, I'm automatically going to be like, oh, bitch, you must be cheating on me then. You don't want to come over. You want to come over last week. That was cool, but now this week, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes, you know, you should never just jump to conclusions. Like, you know, when it comes to relationships, you got to understand, people, that we're all adults situation, man. But I think it's just, people are just putting too much into sex. Like, say, I remember back in the day, like back in the 90s, sex was just simple. You know, it was between a man and a woman. Y'all were attracted to each other, and you wanted to be inside of each other, so to speak. You wanted to connect on another level. Nowadays, man, sex went so far and crazy off into a whole bunch of crap. Like like, my thing is, I can't stand anal. I hate anal. Anal, to me, is disgusting. Only for the simple fact that, you know, that's where you shit from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't get out of the thought that this is where you shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where you go. This is where you go shit. This is where, you know, this is where whatever you ate, this is where it's coming from, and shit stinks. Now, I'm not going to lie and say I've never experienced that. I've had one experience with anal, and that was only because I was with somebody. That was their thing. They talked me into it. I didn't want to do it, but they was like, oh, what you trying? I don't like messing with no weak-ass nigga. So, once again, that goes back to the subject where I was saying that sometimes a guy feels like he's pressured to do this or to do that. So I did it. And to make a long story short, when this nasty-ass heifer got off of me, I had a lap full of shit. And when I had a lap full of shit. You hear me? When you talking about shit stains across my lap, that's when I knew then, oh, no, ma'am. Oh, no, man, you can keep that anal shit. And then another thing, I feel like if a guy only does anal, I think there's just a little bit of sweetness in the system. Like, you don't like no pussy? Like, you don't want no pussy. Like, you want some ass? For real? Nah, I'm good on that. There's nothing better than a woman's cookies. There's nothing more better, more sweeter,